Hello and welcome to Bounding into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounding into Comics. And today I got a story about the official Star Trek Twitter account claiming they are going to remove people who post hate speech. Before we get to that, I'd like to ask you to please hit that subscribe button if you are not already subscribed. If you are already subscribed, please make sure you are still subscribed. YouTube sometimes likes to remove people who are subscribed. And then hopefully by the end of this video, I will have earned your like, and you will give us a like, and then you will then share this with your friends and family. With that out of the way, let's get to this story. As I said, the official Star Trek Twitter account recently posted that they would remove hate speech. This is what they posted. We're just going to get right to it. Quote, "The Star Trek universe is a safe community for all." Then they shared an image which reads, quote, "Infinite diversity and infinite combinations. The Star Trek universe is a safe community for all. We welcome passionate and thoughtful conversations about the Star Trek universe. We will not tolerate and will remove any racist, misogynistic, transphobic, ableist, and homophobic comments or hate speech." Whatever you make of the post, it appears that Viacom CBS, the company behind Star Trek, does not actually believe in this message, given they employ Wil Wheaton as well as Marina Sirtis. Because if they actually believed in them, these people would be fired. And we'll explain why. Wheaton, who first appeared in Star Trek The Next Generation, recently hosted The Ready Room, a YouTube show on the then CBS All Access YouTube channel, recapping episodes of Star Trek Picard. It's now on their Paramount Plus channel, which I think they just rebranded the CBS All Access YouTube channel, and it's just called Paramount Plus since they rolled CBS All Access into Paramount Plus. So let's get to Wheaton expressing his hatred and what I would call hate speech. He clearly expressed his hatred when he declared white people are, quote, domestic terrorist insurgents, and that he does not want a unified United States just a few short months ago in January. This is what he posted to Facebook, quote, "Make no mistake, these domestic terrorist insurgents were allowed to storm and occupy the Capitol. There is extensive video of police stepping aside to let them pass. I've seen video of a cop taking a selfie with a rioter inside the building. Compare today's behavior by law enforcement and the state to their behavior in summer during peaceful civil rights protests, separate from the violence, and it is undeniable that today's violence and chaos was permitted and encouraged by choice. This was a decision. This was allowed and encouraged to happen, and the people who allowed and encouraged it must be held accountable. Politicians who poured gasoline on the kindling they put out before they gave matches to their brown shirts must all be expelled from the Congress." As he then concluded, "There must be consequences for the people who allowed this to happen. I know there won't be because white people, but there should be." Now, it seems pretty clear to me that he's describing the domestic and terrorist insurgents as white people there. He followed that up, writing in another post, quote, "I am, always have been, and always will be proudly anti-fascist. I will not unify or come together or seek common ground with fascists, and neither should you." That seems pretty hateful as well, declaring yourself to be an anti-fascist. At the end of April, Wheaton also revealed his hatred when he posted to Facebook wearing a shirt that reads, "Destroy the Patriarchy." He made it clear what his shirt says, noting in the post, quote, "And because it's a FAQ on Instagram, my t-shirt says, destroy the patriarchy." Wheaton has also called millions of Americans fascists. In early April, he posted, "Poop Man wants his MAGA chuds to boycott MLB, and I'm like, okay, do MLS and NHL next." In a comment on this post, he wrote, like, honestly, boycott everything. Just stay home and cower in fear until you pass out, you effing fascists. Seems pretty hateful again. It's almost like he says hateful things very often. So we'll find out if Star Trek actually believes in what they say and that Wil Wheaton will be fired for his hate speech. Not only does Viacom CBS employ Wheaton, but they also employ Marina Sirtis, who reprised her role as Deanna Troi from Star Trek The Next Generation on Star Trek Picard. Sirtis showed off her hateful behavior when she claimed Texans deserved what they got when they were suffering from a horrific snowstorm, where Weather.com reported that at least, quote, at least 20 deaths are believed to be connected to the weather this week in Texas, in addition to at least 18 others in 11 different states. So if you remember, that was back in February. Sirtis tweeted about this, saying, quote, "Don't get me wrong, my heart bleeds for what Texans are going through right now, but the mean girl in me says you get the government you deserve, and they have voted Republican across the board. for the last 20 years. It's pretty hateful to me. The official website has also advocated for the official Star Trek website has also advocated for communism, posting an article with a headline that reads, quote, "The Star Trek communist hopes Star Trek can inspire real revolution." The article promotes a man named Will Way and his belief that communism will lead to a utopian vision shown in Star Trek. This is what Way says in the article. Quote, "The conclusion is only through a socialist revolution to overthrow capitalism going to the next stage of human development can you actually do that." So if you've been living under a rock, you know that communism is a very extremely hateful ideology. To make that point clear, David Satter in the Wall Street Journal, in an article from 2017, claimed the ideology of communism resulted in 100 million deaths in 100 years, looking back to 1917, the Marxist Revolution in Soviet Union. Satter writes, quote, "The total number of victims is closer to 100 million. That makes communism the greatest catastrophe in human history." End quote. So like I said, it'll be interesting to see if they do indeed fire Wil Wheaton, given he has a long rap sheet of making hateful comments that I think would be under the definition of hate speech. And then obviously we've seen Marina Sirtis show off her hate speech as well, saying that Texans deserved to die in a snowstorm back in February. They deserve what they get because of the government that they elected. It seems really rather hateful. And then they're promoting communism on their website, which is probably the most hateful, one of the most hateful ideologies that exists. I don't think they're going to do any of that stuff because I think this is a complete virtue signal. I don't think they actually believe in anything that they actually stated there, because if they did, they would have already fired Wil Wheaton and Marina Sirtis, and they wouldn't have been promoting Will Way on their website who's promoting communism. So I don't even think they actually believe anything that they say. It seems that they actually embrace hate speech, and I don't think they actually believe in infinite diversity and infinite combinations, as clearly expressed by the people that they employ, hate on certain types of diverse opinions. But this is the world we live in today, and this is the virtue signal that Star Trek is giving us. And this is why you probably shouldn't even be watching Star Trek, because they hate you. Let me know what you think. My name is John Trent, and you've been watching Bounding Into Comics.